Today, on the Tom Kearin Channel, circumstances don't matter. Only I am matters. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Tom Kearin Channel in studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the Tom Kearin Channel. One of you reached out with some powerful questions, and you prefaced those questions on the idea that you come from a religious background, that you're leaning on your Catholic and religious background with this discussion. And this person brought up the idea that's discussed in the reality creation, the conscious creating and manifesting community, of the idea that circumstances don't matter. Only state of being matters. As talked about by the non-physical teacher Bashar, that's channeled through Darryl Anka, and really nearly every other manifesting and reality creation teacher and coach and guru out there, talks about this idea that circumstances don't matter. Only I am matters. Only your state of being. This was powerful. This particular creator, again, leaning on their religious background, on their Christian background, as they said, well, Tom, what if circumstances do matter? What if these circumstances that I am experiencing in my life, what if those are lessons to be learned? What if that's my cup of suffering that's not to be taken away from me, that it's the will of God that I experience these conditions, that it's the will of God that I don't manifest these desires, but rather that I experience these conditions. This was the argument, right? Maybe I'm mocking or deceiving God by trying to manifest these desires. In fact, maybe I'm just reaping what I sow. Again, referring to Scripture, leaning on that religious background. Well, I want to talk about all of these ideas today and more. Let's start here. I brought out the whiteboard, just one page, because I didn't want to lose these ideas. I normally don't use this on the Tom Kearin Channel, but it was such a big discussion and such a big movement within this creator that I want to talk about it. Circumstances don't matter, only I am matters. The people, the events, the conditions, the thoughts and feelings are always changing. Those reapings don't matter. They're always changing. But we put conditions on our fulfillment, on our desires. Conditions that need to be met. Techniques that need to be practiced. Or a vibration or frequency that we need to align with. And this person say, well, maybe it's the will of God that I experience those conditions, that I don't have what I desire. Well, A Course in Miracles asks that question. What is the will of God? And A Course in Miracles answers that question. The will of God is that His Son have everything. The will of God is that you have everything, that you are everything. And A Course in Miracles goes on and says that God guaranteed this by making you everything. You as all that is. You as that awareness. So your will and desire to be and have anything or everything you want and desire without any conditions whatsoever, no matter what the conditions are, is God's will. That's God's will, that you have everything. And God guaranteed His will by making you everything. So you're trying to thwart God. That's mocking God, believing that you are not made and have and are everything. Wow. Right? In them pointing to this idea of Luke 22:42. This is when Jesus, the night before he's captured and then crucified, right? He's in the Garden of Gethsemane. And he is an emotional mess, right? Like this particular creator said, I'm a mess with emotions, but maybe this is what it's supposed to be. Maybe I'm supposed to have these conditions. Maybe I'm not supposed to have what I desire. But let's talk about that. In the garden, Luke 22:42, Father, if it is your will, take this cup from me. What's the cup? The cup of suffering, the cup of circumstances, the cup of conditions, right? That we don't, all these unwanted conditions. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. So the question is then, what is God's will? The God's will is not that you have a cup of suffering and stay with that, but God's not going to take the cup from you or not take the cup from you. There is no cup. There is no spoon. You get to decide that you are all that is. What a powerful demonstration, right? Jesus, the metaphysical idea. Jesus says, I am awareness. Having that, feeling all of those emotions, feeling the despair, knowing what's about to happen in the circumstances and conditions. Yet gets up, picks up his mat and walks, and 3 days later performs the biggest miracle ever, the resurrection of himself. That there's a metaphysical lesson here, that you're not limited by any of these conditions, that in every moment you're resurrecting as that new you, that highest version of you. Wow. Remember, Jesus, as your I am awareness, was a hot mess. You call yourself a hot mess of emotions. He was a hot mess in the Garden of Gethsemane. The circumstances were right in his face. Yet he said, Father, if it is your will, take this cup, but nevertheless, not my will, yours be done. And in God's will, what is God's will? That you have everything. What does A Course in Miracles says? God guaranteed this by making you everything. But God cannot give you what you deny yourself. Why? Because God already gave it to you. Only you can deny yourself that. In this particular creator bringing up Galatians 6:7, right? Do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, he will reap. Yes, but that's not, remember, it seems like a warning. We interpret that as a warning, but remember what A Course in Miracles said. God is not mocked, is not a warning, but a reassurance. That God would be mocked if you weren't made of everything. If you didn't have and are everything that you want and desire. Then God would be mocked. That was the message there. Right? That's powerful. You are source. You are existence. It's God's will that you have and are everything. So what is the message there? We're forgetting something when we read. So they bring up Galatians 6:7 and say God will be not mocked. You reap what you sow. But there's also something else they left out, and that's in John 7:24. Do not judge by appearances. Judge with righteous judgment. Judge righteously. In other words, don't judge reality or who you are by what you reap. Judge it by what you sow. That was their message. Don't judge it by the changing conditions. Don't judge according to appearances, but righteous judgment. They forgot that. That's big. So yes, you reap what you sow. But judge by what you sow, not by what you're reaping. We're judging reality by our reapings. I am all that I desire to be. That's what you're sowing in every moment. It's a guarantee. God guaranteed this. Wow. Do you see this? There's no lessons to be learned. Those conditions are not put there that they matter, that you have to learn a lesson from them and overcome them and suffer with them. That was never the message. That you put that cup there with the belief that there's conditions to be met, that you got to practice your way into manifesting with techniques and processes to get what you want. That, oh yeah, that you've got to, that you're a sinner and you're in this lower vibration of frequency, that you've got to align and arise and raise your frequency and vibration. You're already the perfect frequency or vibration of God. Do you see? You're already a perfect vibrational match, because I am is God and you are that. There's only one I am. We can only create the experience of not being in lines or a perfect vibrational match for everything that we want and desire. We can only create the experience of lack and non-fulfillment. You are absolutely fulfillment, experiencing itself as fulfillment. You are God, experiencing yourself as God. It's done. It's always been yours. You could not want, imagine, desire, even think of this life that you want, this person you want to be, unless you are already it. Unless you are already a perfect vibrational match and frequency, you wouldn't even be able to think of it. Go with that knowing. What is God's will? Course in Miracles said it brilliantly. God wills that you are and have everything. And God guaranteed it. You can't thwart God's will. Impossible. God guaranteed it because God made you everything. It was already given to you. It's already yours. Circumstances don't matter. They never mattered. You're not here to learn a lesson. This isn't a school, as some spiritual teachers and gurus say. That's made up. That comes from their own limitations. Those are their beliefs, their assumptions, that it's a school where there's lessons to be learned. You're not here to fix or heal or change anything. You're here to choose. Of all that you are, what you want to experience now is all that is. Do you see that? You're not here to get rid of anything or heal anything. You're here to choose. You're already that being. I am all that is. You are all that is. Circumstances never mattered. Only I am matters. Hopefully you're getting this today. Jesus in Matthew 6:33, the ancients gave us Jesus as your I am awareness, right? Gave us the manifesting reality creation secret. Seek first the kingdom, and everything that you want and desire will be added to you. All these things will be added on to you. What is the kingdom? It's simply you knowing that the kingdom of heaven's not just within you. You are the kingdom of heaven. You are all that is. First seek that knowing that it's already all yours. Then everything else will be added to you. It was never about all of this. There are no conditions on God's love. That's what unconditional love is. That there are no techniques to be practiced. There's no vibration to get to a frequency. You're already it. It's a decision. It's a choice here and now. Seek first the kingdom of heaven. And that's easy because you are it. Know it. Make a choice to be it. And all these things will be added to you. It's very clear. Your will and your desire to be and have everything, without any conditions whatsoever, is God's will. God wills that you have everything. Wow. You're already a perfect vibrational match for everything that you want and desire. It's now your decision to just choose it and stand in that knowing. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Tom Kearin Channel and studios of Be Something Wonderful, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, be sure to check out the Be Something Wonderful channel. We just released a big video there. And tomorrow at 12 noon time, Pacific, right here from the studios in Las Vegas, Be Something Wonderful on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel. We're going to have our next live event. During this live stream, I answer your questions as you ask them during the event. We have this once a month. Join us on the Be Something Wonderful membership channel and ask any question you want. We're going to tackle them all. Creators with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude. This is Tom Kearin here on the Tom Kearin Channel in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.